If terrorists launch drones from a country, that country should also be responsible and should also increase their efforts to stop this menace. While in the case of small drones, they can be assembled using dual use or open source components, usually have limited range, limited capacity, and can be assembled with very less investment or operated with basic technical expertise. These drones also remain mostly undetected by existing air defense radars because of the simple fact that the existing radars are tuned and designed in a way to detect larger flying objects. The counter drone systems that are still work in progress and need continuous development are also not covering all aspects of smaller drones. All of these reasons have actually made small drones an almost favorite among terrorists for their use in asymmetric warfare, especially across the borders. However, their limited capabilities require them to be launched closely from the border. Cross-border contraband smuggling across the Indian border is one such example of this scenario. The frequency of drones being used across the Indian border to smuggle drugs, arms, ammunition and explosives is also becoming a major concern, with frequent sightings of drones on the border, a marked increase from last year. Many of these drones have been detected delivering contraband and have been shot down by the Indian security forces. While India and the rest of the world are already deploying counter-drone technologies to tackle this issue, the responsibility for solving this issue should lie on both sides of the border. If terrorists launch drones from a country, that country should also be responsible and should also increase their efforts to stop this menace. The victim country cannot completely solve this issue on its own without the support of its neighbor from where the drones are actually being launched, especially in the case where these drones are being launched very close to the border. Negligence and inaction by any country in this regard should not be acceptable to the global forum as a collective. I make my statements by giving India and its neighbor as an example, but the argument is applicable for any two countries sharing a common border. Countries on each side of the border should be held accountable. This being an intergovernmental issue makes United Nations of course the perfect forum for developing a framework to enable cooperation between border sharing countries. Such a framework may create shared responsibility, motivate information exchange, and mandate expedited action against terrorists which have been misusing these drones. Lastly, such a framework must recognize and penalize countries that do not cooperate or do not take any action to stop terrorists from launching these drones from their soil. Inaction or ignorance in this matter may be construed as some sort of support, and the global forum must condemn it.